Good morning. Good morning, more specifically, to the New York Knicks. The NBA's New York Knicks. The team that leads the NBA Finals 1-0. The New York Knicks. This is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. And good morning to the New York Knicks. Going on the road and knocking off San Antonio by a final score of 105-95 last night, led by a masterclass from Jalen Brunson. That's the first word that came to mind. This morning when I sat down and thought, all right, we got to open a radio show. We got to talk about the NBA Finals last night and how to conceptualize what Jalen Brunson did and the old Dallas Maverick. You get this J.J. Barea thing. I'm telling you, I said it yesterday, his stats, this is as if the Knicks looked at J.J. Barea, the old Dallas Maverick, 15 years ago, and said, you know what, that little wily guard right there, give me that. I want that. We're going to take J.J. Barea after this NBA Finals with right alongside Dirk Nowitzki against LeBron. We're going to take J.J. Barea and make him a star. What the hell? Why would you do that? You sure about that? The Knicks did that with Jalen Brunson, made him a star, and last night it paid off. A series can't begin in the postseason in any sport unless the road team wins a game. Best out of 7, that is. And now the series has begun with the Knicks winning and masterclass being the word. As I'm sitting there thinking, like, hey, if somebody woke up today and they didn't get to see the full game, they're hanging out as we speak in Cedar Park, Texas. How do I conceptualize what Jalen Brunson was? And again, it was masterclass. That was the word, masterclass. Is the Knicks, they take the J.J. Barea, they make him to a star, and then last night he drops 30 points. But then I thought about it further. You know the craziest part about Game 1 of the NBA Finals? The 105-95 double-digit road win for the New York Knicks, where the Knicks, who were down 95-94, scored 11 consecutive to end the ball game and win their 12th in a row, a stunning 12th postseason win in a row. The craziest part about my reflection on it this morning is that Jalen Brunson didn't have a masterclass. Is that Jalen Brunson wasn't the best player on the floor or best player in the game. Is that Jalen Brunson was just okay. Good, not great. 31 field goals, 12 for 31 for his 30 points last night. He shot the ball 31 times. So why did I think masterclass? Why was that the first word that came to mind? Because Jalen Brunson, the guy who shot 12 for 31, 30 points, the guy who exited in both the first and second quarter last night with seeming injuries, but came back and fought through those. That guy, the reason I thought masterclass, the reason I'm going to stand by masterclass, because guess who won the game? Guess who played at the highest level? Guess who played his best when the game was on the line? Guess who forced themselves in 13 points on the back half of the contest to go win a ball game in the NBA Finals on the road against Victor Wembanyama for the New York Knicks? You do that. You close that out. You deserve that word. You deserve masterclass. Knicks win it by 10. The nugget to know. You might be sitting in an Uber right now. You and the driver can both know this. I'm going to give you this for free. Karl Anthony Towns may have been the best player on the floor last night. Josh Hart may have been the best player on the floor last night. Towns had 18. Cat in his 34 minutes, 18 points. That's not sexy. 12 boards. That is. 4 assists in the game as well as a block. But defended, I didn't expect to see Cat defend Victor Wembanyama as much as he did. The Knicks, these small New York Knicks, who Mitchell Robinson, their big man, 7 foot, 240 pounds. Like, okay, we got get him in Wemby's grill. Well, that guy broke his pinky. could only play 13 minutes last night, and there were a good 13 minutes. He was bullying Wemby. He was physical with Wemby. 6 boards in those 13 minutes. But it was Cat who was tasked so much with, hey, that guy, the alien, you can't miss him. He's 7'4". Go guard that guy. Go ensure that guy's uncomfortable. And Wembanyama never looked at full speed, at full strength, never looked comfortable. That might make Karl Anthony Towns the best player from last night's game. But what about Josh Hart? How the hell is a morning radio host going to get on the air at Westwood One Sports, 300 affiliates, and tell the country that Josh Hart may have been the best player on the floor last night when he played 27 minutes and had 3 points? How can you justify that? Allow me. 15 rebounds. That paced the game. Number 1 of anybody on the floor last night. Josh Hart, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, 4 steals, and a block. Josh Hart's defense, Josh Hart's pace of play, toughness, tenacity, all those words, the little buzzwords for the Energizer Bunny guy that gets it done. And the scoring, the points might not be there, but everything else is, that was Josh Hart. And to tie it all together with a bow, OG Anunoby to Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet. To tie it all together with a bow was Jalen Brunson dropping 30 points. But how did we get here, huh? How did the Knicks win? Well, at the break, it looked like anything but a Knicks victory last night. Let's paint a story, 300 milligrams caffeine-wise. Spurs go up 55-48. Julian Champagnie, his 5th three-pointer. He knocks it down from deep at the buzzer to end the first half.
Next to shoot. Fox splits the defense, throws it in the corner. Champagnie puts it up, puts it in. Champagnie red hot here in the first half. Final seconds knocked away. And quarter number 2 comes to an end. Champagnie 5 of 6 from three-point range.
So I'm sitting there at a Weird Al Yankovic concert last night. White and nerdy. Amish paradise. Spin us a web, you're the Spider-Man. And it was interesting. Deodorant wasn't exactly a requirement at the show, but I kind of loved it. The clientele at a Weird Al concert rocks a little bit. And I'm the ass hat. Remember, I learned my lesson. Who's got my phone on my knee watching the NBA Finals. Just like, oh, nice, yes, boom, yeah, all right, sweet. 55-48 at halftime. The Spurs, who were clearly the better team, you guys told me that yesterday. They were minus 205 to win the series, according to Las Vegas. They were a much better team on paper than the New York Knicks. They are up by 7 at the break, holding New York to 48 points the first 2 quarters. That's good. And it's not about to slow down. 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Spurs go up by 13 points. They might just run away with this thing.
Fox on the spin move, gets inside. That comes up short. Castle right there, and it rolls in. Castle on the boards.
But in those 8 minutes, everything would flip. And the San Antonio Spurs, the home team, up 13 points. The home team could run away with this. The home team just, hey, finish them. The thumb goes down, go win it. San Antonio was up 65-51, 14 points. With 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And that's where things kind of fell apart. 65-51, Spurs have the lead. All of a sudden, it's 76-76. It was 65-51. Spurs managed 11 points in the last 6.5 minutes of the third quarter. Knicks put up 25. A 25-11 run. And Miles McBride, inside of 10 seconds to go in the third, tied the ball game at 76 for us to go to the fourth, all knotted up.
There's about a 5-second difference. Shot clock, game clock. Hart has to pass it out. McBride, corner 3. Banks a hit from the corner. Oh, my goodness. The angle on that shot.
Well, now we got a ball game. We went from early on, the Knicks led this game 14-7. And it was just that classic ESPN's little probability game flow. Like, oh, the Knicks may win. No, it's way too early for that. Spurs jump out. Double-digit lead. Hold the lead. The Knicks kind of come back into the second quarter. Spurs go back up on top. Then San Antonio is really dominating the game. There's this fun back and forth. Then San Antonio finds footing, finds control. Till the end of the third quarter, they just don't have it anymore. And now the Knicks garner a 90% chance of victory after they go up 94-86 thanks to Jalen Brunson with 6 minutes to go.
Brunson looking. Brunson driving, layup, shot is good. A Brunson barrage here in the fourth quarter. It's an 8-point lead, largest of the game for the Knicks.
No, but don't count out the best team remaining in basketball, the San Antonio Spurs. Knicks a 90% chance of victory, but you are in San Antonio. And that's where it happens. 3:24 left. The San Antonio Spurs, home court advantage. Listen to the crowd when the Spurs pull back within one, 94-93, under 3.5 minutes to go.
Thought about a three. Now drives on Towns, goes inside, layup, he banks it in, and a foul.
And one for Victor Wembanyama. Spurs would end up taking a lead at 95-94. And again, I'm just now exiting the Weird Al Yankovic concert. Fever dream. I'm exiting the Weird Al Yankovic concert, still phone out, standing in the line in the men's restroom because I had 2 beers, needed to relieve myself at the Weird Al show. So I'm standing in line, sorry everybody, I'm watching the NBA Finals. My bad, it's on me. It's 95-94 San Antonio. I've told you, we know this, we've established this, I'm not sure you remember, that I grew up a San Antonio Spurs fan. My Uncle Matt, living down in San Antonio, was the influence for that. Watching Boris Diaw and Tiago Splitter, under the tutelage of Greg Popovich. But you and I meet every morning on a morning. You're not a Spurs fan, maybe you are, but I don't need to rub this in or tell you, oh man, I was rooting so hard for them. I root for every team to lose equally here. But there's a spot at 95-94 that old callous little pre-radio brain, that my heart, Grinch style, it grew 2 sizes larger, and I thought, can I enjoy this? Am I about to enjoy a Spurs comeback victory in the NBA Finals? I wasn't. The answer is no. 37 seconds to go. This is when Jalen Brunson does. This is when Jalen Brunson, down by 1, fourth quarter, NBA Finals this time, goes into takeover mode. And from there, because it was Brunson at 95-94 with the Spurs ahead, who had a 3, then Brunson again, and the proverbial dagger. Knicks are up 99-105, 37 seconds to go when Brunson ends the ball game.
Brunson on the drive, spins underneath, puts it up, puts it in. Jalen Brunson does it again.
And that's it. The Knicks swipe game 1 from San Antonio and have done not the impossible, but close to the impossible by winning 12 straight in this NBA postseason. Here's the final call. Mike Breen on ESPN.
It's now 12 consecutive wins for the Knicks as they take game 1 of the NBA Finals. Their 7th consecutive road game. And one of the great playoff runs in NBA history is still alive.
Yeah. What? This iteration of the New York Knicks, this Knicks team has won 12 in a row. Do you understand there are three teams all time to win 12 straight postseason games? You're thinking, I don't know, somewhere 60s, 70s, Lakers, Celtics, 90s, certainly the Bulls. The Bulls probably won 12 in a row somewhere in there in the middle of their dynasty. The 2000s, I mean, the Lakers, sure, maybe Kobe did it. 12 straight's a good chunk, but maybe Kobe pulled that off. 2010s, but LeBron, the Heat, they had some good runs, the Heat. Maybe the Golden State Warriors, yeah? 3 teams all time. The 1999 San Antonio Spurs with the Admiral, David Robinson, maybe the greatest defensive team of all time. Opponent points per game of 79.9 during that stretch. One of the greatest defensive teams of all time. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Greg Popovich, the 1999 San Antonio Spurs. The 2017 Golden State Warriors. You could argue the Warriors, that 2017 iteration, as one of the greatest teams of all time. And then the 2026 New York Knicks. What's more stunning about that stat, 3 teams have ever done this. The Knicks adding themselves to that list. The point differential in that run, San Antonio was plus 10. The 2017 Golden State Warriors were plus 16. These New York Knicks are plus 23 in point differential in the games across their 12 contest win streak in the NBA playoffs. That is absurd. They are plus 23 on the points per game differential. We're watching greatness. We're watching dominance. And it's coming from the 2026 New York Knicks. When we come back, let's hear from the coaches from both teams. Jalen Brunson, very upset at the officiating. Victor Wembanyama, very upset at himself. And Karl Anthony Towns is a philosopher? Seemed like it after last night. Let's hear from the 2 teams when we return. It is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Are you a Knicks fan now? Did you buy into the story? 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. You can call or text the show. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Myles Garrett has...
Gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord, yeah. darkness world stops turning. Ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power. And as God has struck the hour, day of judgment God is calling. On the knees the war pigs.
Ignore the hole.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Am I the problem? Don't answer
Yes,
that.
yes,
Don't
yes,
answer.
yes, yes,
Don't
yes,
answer that. Don't bully me. Don't bully me.
Yes.
Don't bully me.
yes.
Bully
Yes.
on Hill.
Oh. In the break, I was scrolling through Instagram where the kids are posting now. And this girl who I knew from college posted, officially my birthday week. Am I the problem for thinking that's insufferable?
That's so stupid. That is so
Is
dumb.
it me? Am I being mean to the birthday girl?
That's so dumb.
Am I going out of my way to hate people having fun, or am I in the right here?
That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, I think. Who has a birthday? It's a birthday. It's in the name. Birthday. Day.
Birthday week. If you are an adult human person who the second that Sunday comes around and your birthday's the next Saturday, you're like, oh, birthday week. And you make others act as such. You are the problem. It's not me. You are the problem. Birthday week. Yeah. Even Curtis agrees. That's how he shows it. That's how he communicates. Through the little noises. So you're in. I'm in the right here. You shouldn't have a birthday week. We all agree.
I just feel like as a grown adult, if we're still throwing like parties every year and all that kind of stuff, I think it's a little ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Yeah, at some point the clock flips over and you just do a nice dinner. It's like, hey, me and 4 or 5 of my closest friends are going out to dinner. Maybe you drink at the bar after. That's it.
You know what? My birthday last year, you want to know what day it landed on? A Wednesday. You know what Wednesdays are?
Trivia.
Greatest birthday ever.
You win last night?
We don't need to talk about that.
All right, great. I
Anyway.
don't think in the duration of the show you've won.
That's
Maybe
not
one day.
true. That's not true at all. I have so many certificates. I've spent them on Irish car bombs.
What? That's violent.
Have you never had one of those before?
I don't think so. The Guinness and something?
So it's half Guinness, and then they give you a shot of either Bailey's or Jameson. And what you do is you drop if it's Bailey's, you drop it in the Guinness, and you have to chug, or else it starts to curdle.
Oh, sorry. At Baylor, we had apple juice. So that was kind of where the buck dropped.
Right.
Soaking.
What's
Buck stopped.
and soaking, as Curtis said.
We did not have soaking. We did not.
In the meat.
What's that
We
Miller
just
Lite
couldn't
sign
get it
behind
on.
you?
And I was taking shots from the front and the back. The other kids had apple juice. I had Miller Lite. I would go to the Total Liquor or whatever it was, the little store down the street, and they would never card. My 21st birthday, they didn't even card me. It's like the ritual. I couldn't even do it.
And you asked girls if they wanted to bang or want to bang. Want to
Oh,
bang.
jeez. This is like nice elderly Indian man who was like, all right, I don't know, just take the alcohol. I was like, no, card me, please.
Don't card him. Hill.
105-95. Knicks over the Spurs last night. A double-digit victory for the Bockers. I thought Karl Anthony Towns summed the night up perfectly. I can tell you about how it all happened, but I thought Karl Anthony Towns, one of the players, did a really good job of that. It is the Drake Toll Show, by the way, Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates producing. You can listen to the entirety of the show on the Westwood One Sports app or the Drake Toll Show on YouTube. Karl Anthony Towns summed the night up perfectly, walking through the tunnel after the contest was over, saying basically no team deserved to lose. Kat, take it away.
When the meat
That was a prize fight. That was two heavyweights going at it. Form and Ali. Man, Fury and Wilder. That was a fight. It's sickening. One team had to win, but we stayed consistent. We stayed disciplined. We was willing to fight today. But we got to be better next time.
It's sickening that one team had to win. There's no villain here. I can't root against the Spurs. I can't root against the New York Knicks. This is just two hardworking teams. Prize fight. Going toe-to-toe. Blow for blow. Hey, Curtis. That's not where the buck stopped with me and Kat last night. I listened to every bit of post-game media, whether it was on the floor or in the locker room at the podium. I thought Karl Anthony Towns had one of the best answers of his career as a guy who, remember, was tasked with leading Minnesota to an NBA title and being a star out west. And it never materialized. It never became the pomp and circumstance around his career didn't pay off. And so with a restart in New York where he isn't the star, where he is the second fiddle to Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Cat somehow sounds as cerebral and refreshed as ever. I think this is a very scary version of New York when Karl Anthony Towns, who was guarding Victor Wembanyama for a good portion of the game, sounds like this.
I don't want to sound sugarcoating or anything like that, but Shaq, you would know what I'm saying. I don't know what it was, but I just felt a calm and a peace that, I don't know, had to come from the woman above. So I felt really confident about today. I felt good. I felt like a kid. It felt like it was just fun out here. This is something that as a kid you always dream about. You always hope that you just hope to be an NBA player, let alone to be in the NBA Finals. And all day it was just a weird feeling. It felt like I was a kid getting ready to go play my Saturday AAU games and Sunday AAU games. And in a way, I felt like I was seeing her in the stands, and it was fun. It was really fun, and it was really comforting because, game one of the NBA Finals, you're told how the pressure is going to be and everything is, and I don't know. It felt like a certain presence was here that was very comforting and very loving, and I felt like I could have fun out here in game one of the NBA Finals, which is the weirdest thing because you would expect to have the pressure at the highest.
Yes, rest in peace to your beautiful mother.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a great the nod from Shaq there to Karl Anthony Towns, who was waxing poetic about his mom, who was talking about the ease of going into a game like this. Again, that's a dangerous rhetoric. It's a danger. If the opposing team, if that guy's getting to the press conference after the game, or he's joining inside the NBA after the game and saying, it felt like walking into the gym on a Sunday at an AAU tournament. Oh, that's not good for everybody else. It's not a good sign for the other team when the New York Knicks are talking like that. As for the head coach of the Knicks, Mike Brown admitted to being one of the most flustered people out there. Jalen Brunson was frustrated all night with the officiating, and when he returned from his knee injury, only to hurt his ankle, there wasn't a foul call, he was letting the officials hear it, and all night, especially early, there were complaints about the officials. Complaints about Scott Foster, the notable NBA referee Scott Foster, who Brunson ran over to right after the game and had a conversation with. And Mike Brown, in contrast to Karl Anthony Towns and the Zen mindset, said that he, the head coach of the Knicks, Mike Brown, got out of kilter and was upset and was yelling at the officials and had to be reminded by Jalen Brunson's dad, who's an assistant on this staff, to just calm down.
We were all bitching too much at the officials, and I tell you, Rick Brunson was great. He told me to shut the hell up. Sorry, Mom. He told me to shut up, and or be quiet, and he told the rest of the team to be quiet and leave the officials alone. And it was great of him because we were all kind of losing our mind, and I did it. The rest of the guys did it, and it helped us put our energy elsewhere, especially in the second half.
Yeah. That Knicks team The Knicks team whose second best player, Carl Anthony Towns, is saying, I feel like I'm in an AAU tournament. You know, we're at a boxing fight where no team deserves to lose. The version of the Knicks where your head coach says, hey, I was freaking out a little bit, especially about the officials. Then I got reminded, hey, stop complaining. Sit down and let the NBA Finals play out. That's a practiced, level-headed Knicks. I don't want to face that. But Wemby does. Wemby said, look, yeah, he's not worried. No red button. Don't press it yet. Victor Wembanyama, the San Antonio Spurs star, is not worried.
It's obviously, I mean, it's not. We've been down in a series before, never in the finals, obviously. But I'm not kicking myself about anything, really. I mean, I'm not worried the slightest.
Now, come on. Victor, you don't have to be worried, but I'm reading the box score. I watched the game. We didn't get Victor Wembanyama last night. 6 for 21 from the field, 2 for 9 from deep. Your 26 points were aided by a 12 for 13 performance from the free throw line. But 6 for 21 shooting, 12 boards, 26 points, 12 boards in a vacuum, that's good. Only 2 assists, not a lot of facilitation. 6 turnovers for Wemby that thwart his steal and 3 blocks. I appreciate you not being worried, but I'm going to need you to admit that you didn't have a very good game, and that's exactly what Victor Wembanyama did later on at that same podium.
No, of course not. I agree with the coach. And, I mean, it's the same. Every team guards differently, you know. I'm going to figure it out. It's, I mean, I was bad tonight. It's not more complicated than that.
Thank you, Victor, for saying you were bad, because, yeah, this is not the Victor Wembanyama who wins the NBA title. This is the Victor Wembanyama that loses in 5. A Victor Wembanyama who lost on his home floor in Game 1 of the NBA Finals to the New York Knicks. Which begs the question for Wemby. Yeah, I mean, human beings aren't made to be 7'4", and a 7'4" human in the Victorian era of the United States would have been at the circus, people to gawk at. Now you can be 7'4" and completely put together, coordinated enough to be an elite NBA star. But at 7'4", with the way of you just played a 7-game series against the supposed best team in the NBA, Oklahoma City Thunder, are the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, especially a disastrous finals debut for De'Aaron Fox, are the Spurs too tired? That was a question posed to Mitch Johnson. It's a fair question, and here is how Mitch Johnson, the Spurs head coach, responded.
Y'all was playing against, your deep stuff against Oklahoma City, and then, the turnovers in the fourth quarter. How can you get that repaired? Such a quick turnaround.
I don't think it was fatigue. I'm sure guys got tired at times, but I didn't feel like anyone's performance was based on fatigue. I think we just need to be sharper and execute better and continue to work the game and not fight it at times and play the right way.
Well, it can't be fatigue. You can't be too tired now. It was the same mantra from this show, from the chair of the Drake Toll show a week ago against Oklahoma City. You don't have to have 11 players in the NBA postseason. You don't have to have 9 guys. If your 5 dudes on the basketball floor are better than their 5 dudes at any given point in time, that's your opportunity to win. If you've got 1 man, 2 men off the bench that can help lead you, great. But you can't have 6 out there. You can't have 7 out there. And I know depth can help you. I'm not saying depth's a bad thing, but I just need, for 48 minutes, the 5 guys I throw out there to be better than your 5 guys. That wasn't the case last night for the San Antonio Spurs. If fatigue is the issue, which Mitch Johnson, the coach, says it's not. If fatigue is the issue, that's obviously a serious problem the rest of a series where the Spurs are already looking at a 1-0 deficit, watching New York win it in San Antonio, 105-95. When we return, our idiots of the day. We're not too far off from obituaries and even the quickie. It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Vegas stole game one.
And I remember there was a radio coming from the room next door. And my mother laughed the way some ladies do. When it's late in the evening and the music seeping through. The next thing I remember, I am walking down the street. I'm feeling all right. I'm with my boys and with my troops, yeah. And down along the avenue, some guys were shooting pool, and I heard the sound of a cappella grooves, yeah. Singing late in the evening, and all the girls out on the stoops, yeah. Then I learned to play some lead guitar. I was underage in this funky bar, and I stepped outside and smoked myself a J. And when I come back to the room, everybody just seemed to move, and I turned my amp up loud and I began to play. And it was late in the evening, and I blew that room away. First thing I remember when you came into my life, I said I'm gonna get that girl no matter what I do. Well, I guess I've been in love before. Once or twice I've been on the floor, but I never loved no one the way that I love you. And it was late in the evening, and all the music seeping through. And I remember there was a radio coming from the room next door. And my mother laughed away.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. And the clutch factor, the clutch gene, Jalen Brunson taking over in the fourth quarter last night, gave the New York Knicks a 1-0 lead over the San Antonio Spurs. And tonight in the NHL, the Stanley Cup Finals rolls on. The Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes. Couple of road winners in these series in the NBA and NHL as the Golden Knights got the best of the Canes on Tuesday by a final of 5-4, coming back from a multi-goal deficit to win game one. Can they win another in Carolina and go up 2-0? The Golden Knights, the same team that swept the Colorado Avalanche in the conference finals, looking for a 2-0 lead tonight. Addy Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12. And it's time for our biggest losers of the day. Biggest loser of the day, number one. Steve Sarkisian. So you'll remember Steve Sarkisian, Texas football, said there's another team in our state who we would win their schedule, would win their conference with our 2s and 3s. Joey McGuire, he's the head football coach at Texas Tech, he took offense to that, saying, like, I know you're talking about us. We're the other team in your state that you think you'd win the conference with your 2s and 3s. And I think you should just call us out by name. McGuire was very clear, like, hey, you just say, hey, it's Texas Tech. We would win their schedule with our backups. And McGuire said, look, here's what I'll do. I'll call your week one opponent and our week one opponent, and I'll have them play each other so we can play. We'll go neutral site. You don't even have to come to Lubbock. We'll go neutral site, Dallas Cowboys Stadium. If you really think that UT has it that much worse, could win our conference, and we couldn't contend with your schedule, then let's duke it out on the football field. And now in a meeting with Josh Pate, Joey McGuire seems entranced on this, saying, I want to go to the playoff, and I don't want them to keep avoiding us. I want to play Texas. Here's what McGuire said to Pate.
But your 2s and 3s, like, there's got to be there's a level of respect there that, like, you almost like, come on, man. Like, I know you've got a really good football team, and he does have a great football team. I am really anxious to see them this year. And I know when you feel as a coach, you have a really good football team, sometimes you say some stuff, and then your players got to go back it up on the field. My deal was, if you're going to say that, man, one, come out and just say who you're talking about. And then two, let's play. Like, I feel great about my team. Whoever the quarterback is, I feel really good about my team. So I would love to play them. Man, for so many reasons, I'm hoping and we're working our tail off to make the playoffs again. But I hope that round one is against the University of Texas or whenever we play. I mean, I want to play those games.
McGuire even took time to commend Texas, which he's right. National championship contender, college football playoff contender. Given the way that Texas has invested in football, it's a failure if they go back-to-back years without a playoff berth. Now, stark contrast to the Charlie Strong and Tom Herman eras. Steve Sarkisian has built Texas back up. But to have, and again, McGuire hit the nail on the head, to have said that you'd win our schedule, our conference with your 2s and 3s, there's a level of disrespect there. And if you're going to disrespect Texas Tech, then come play Texas Tech. The Longhorns have been silent on the issue since. Biggest losers of the day, me and you? The price of gas and groceries. I tried to buy eggs the other day. Tried to buy a tank of gas at the same spot, Kroger. What? Not good. Not good. But They're going down. They've been going down. They're at an all-time low. Here's what the commander-in-chief had to say on the subject.
What about people who don't have 401ks and they're worried about gas or groceries? We hear about that
I
a lot.
inherited very high prices when I came in. I inherited the highest inflation in the history of our country. You know, Biden had like 9-10% inflation. And I inherited that, and we have it way down. And then I said, I did have to say we have to do something about Iran, because regardless of how well we're doing, we can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person.
We have it way down. We have it way down. Getting there. Getting there. But Iran, no nuclear weapons. So that's a win.
Anyway.
Biggest loser of the day, Jared Verse. This is the same Jared Verse who was a Los Angeles Rams 72 hours ago, 25 years old, 99 pressures in his last couple seasons in the NFL, third to Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. Verse was traded away from the Rams for Myles Garrett. Cleveland Browns sending the Defensive Player of the Year out west and acquiring Verse and 3 picks. Yesterday, Verse spoke to the media for the first time, and he's the biggest loser of the day because he just doesn't seem like he really wanted to play for the Browns or leave L.A. Here's Verse on its move.
It caught me by surprise. I loved LA. I loved the coaches, the organization, my teammates, everybody a part of it, the staff, the fans. I love the whole vibe of LA, Los Angeles, the Rams, and it was upsetting. I was upset for, a good little bit of time. But when you're an athlete, you understand the nature of business. Everybody does what they think is best for their business, and, that's the situation that I'm in. I'm happy to be a part of the Browns. I'm happy that they believed in me and they were able to make that trade and bring me here, be with my teammates, be with everybody here. And I truly do believe in everybody in the locker room. But it was upsetting at first. But, you got two choices that you can either work or you can give up, and I ain't never been a quitter.
Yeah. I mean, let's go at it. Work hard. How would you feel if you lived in sunny Los Angeles? You're a step away from the beach, and then you move to Cleveland. And I don't think Cleveland's a bad place. I don't want to rag on Cleveland like that. One of my favorite trips that we've had with the Savannah Bananas organization was 2024. We went to Cleveland and played a couple games at Progressive Field, home of the Guardians. Jason Kipnis joined us. And I thought Cleveland was awesome. Like, why are people being mean to Ohio? And I just still, I'm not sure if I can put it above L.A. And for Verse to be caught off guard, to be surprised by this, I feel like that's him being pretty honest. I don't think that the Rams had warned Verse there was a possibility of him being traded from L.A. to Cleveland. And then you get the phone call, you're moving from L.A. to Cleveland. And again, Cleveland's a nice place. But what a change of scenery from a Super Bowl contender to the Browns, who won't contend for years. Verse saying he'll work no matter what. Idiot of the day. Skyscrapers around the world. Yesterday at a White House press conference, we got clarification on how big the Lincoln reflecting pool is going to be. We're in the middle of a massive remodel. We're all paying for it, so we all get to enjoy the Lincoln reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial. The Sears Tower, 1,451 feet. The Empire State Building, 1,454 feet. One World Trade Center, 1776. I didn't know that. 1,776 feet. And the Lincoln Reflecting Pool, 2,030 feet.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person.
Our pool is bigger than the world's skyscrapers, the nation's skyscrapers. And our final idiot of the day, Brandon Ayuk. Hear me out. Another NFL player arrested for a snafu while driving.
What?
Warrant for Brandon Ayuk's arrest issued in Northern California. If I had given you any reason, if I had given you options to guess what happened, driving probably would have been somewhere in there. 49ers receiver, per the New York Post, is wanted on misdemeanor charges of exhibition of speed, the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office confirmed to the California Post on Wednesday. Ayuk is not commenting on the case. Prosecutors offered no further comment on the case. And he reached speeds over 100 miles an hour on Santa Clara roadways in his Cadillac CT5V Blackwing. And in the footage during his joyride, he's seen hitting 104 miles an hour as he flies by Levi's Stadium. Chuck Bass on Twitter says, interesting way to announce Brandon Ayuk is signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go, Chief. Another NFL player speeding. Not even a Georgia guy. Didn't even go to Georgia. Brandon Ayuk, warrant for his arrest. We'll see how that plays out. Certainly he'll miss 0 time in the NFL. That's the way the world goes around. Addy Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we come back, the obituaries and our quickie. It is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Rolling into the 7 o'clock Eastern Time hour on the Drake Toll Show.
Yeah. This
roll on my Segway. I know in my heart they think I'm white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy?
You know,
Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. I like to roll.
I guess it was just the novelty of it's a Wednesday night. Weird Al Yankovic comes into your town. You do it, right?
Touch yourself.
Let me take you into my mind. I'm sitting in this chair 24 hours ago, to the moment 24 hours ago, watching WJCL here in Savannah, my morning news outlet, and they ran a promo for Weird Al tonight. Weird Al Yankovic. It's like, I can't not, right? So I did. I bought tickets. Section B, middle of the place, row 12. Just to tell one day, if I have children, I will look at them and I'll tell them, your father went and saw Weird Al Yankovic in Savannah, Georgia. When he had the opportunity, he didn't back down. He didn't bow out. He went and he saw Weird Al. And the show got better and better as it went on. He's kind of old now. I think he's 60, he's 66, which isn't crazy, but for performing the way he does, gyrating and moving his body, I was kind of blown away. And it got better and better as the night went on, too. At the very end of the show, there's a little Star Wars bit. I'm locked in, watching the Spurs Knicks in one hand, watching Weird Al Yankovic on the other, with Puddle's Pity Party. Remember the guy from America? I had seen him on America's Got Talent. I watched him, dude, just taking notes the whole time to bring that Weird Al vibe to the Savannah Bananas, as if we don't already have it. It is the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, at the Westwood One Sports app. The NBA Finals. 1-0 lead for the New York Knicks. Knicks fans woke up today for the first time in 27 years, having won an NBA Finals game. The Knicks have matched already their NBA Finals win total from 1999, gentleman's sweep, 4-1 at the hands of the San Antonio Spurs. Last night, Karl Anthony Towns backing down Victor Wembanyama. Or Mitch Robinson, the big man for New York. When he did play, broken pinky, when he did play, his 13 minutes, 6 rebounds, efficient, bullying Victor Wembanyama. Or Jalen Brunson on a night where he shot the ball 31 times. And it wasn't really falling. 12 for 31, 2 for 9 from deep. He was only 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Didn't get at the stripe very often. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, no steals. It wasn't a great night for Brunson. Brunson played good. He played fine basketball. But it was the way that Brunson took over the game late that was the difference maker. It was the way that Brunson, with the Knicks up 90-86. All right, make it 92-86. Make it 94-86. Just Jalen Brunson. Oh, Spurs come back 95-94. They lead it. Yeah. Jalen Brunson three-pointer. Right on cue. And Knicks fans across New York, you see the videos on social media or on the news of people in the streets wearing blue and orange all over the place, celebrating. Big screens everywhere from Madison Square Garden to Times Square, displaying the New York Knicks who won an NBA Finals game. That story alone is one worth telling. The Knicks are back. It is the Drake Toll Show, and it's time, 7 o'clock hour on the East Coast, for our obituaries. Dead today, smiling. Caitlin Collins, the CNN reporter, you know her, you know the one, didn't smile enough yesterday. White House press conference. She was called out for it, put on blast. It was about time. Dead today, smiling. Here is the president on Caitlin Collins.
CNN will believe it because they knew what was going on. They're crooked as hell. CNN's a very corrupt organization, but with a corrupt reporter standing right there, never smiles. She never smiles. She's a young, beautiful woman, never smiles. I never see a smile off her face. I see her standing there with hatred in her eyes. Like she has hatred because we have borders, because we have a strong military, because we cut our taxes, because we do things that everybody wanted, and then we win our election in a massive landslide.
Interesting, per se.
I see her sitting there, not smiling. She's mad because we have borders. To his point, I don't think I've ever seen Caitlin Collins smile, whether she's interviewing Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, or Kamala Harris. It's just kind of how Caitlin Collins, the CNN reporter, operates. Maybe we should ask if she's okay. Dead today. Nick Castellanos, the Padre. Nick Castellanos, designated for assignment. This is the same Nick Castellanos you know and love, who at a time in his, what's fun, we use Nick Castellanos a lot in the banana ball realm. He was drafted behind Jake Skoll in the 2010 Major League Baseball draft. Skoll was a first-rounder, 15th pick overall. He would play 7 years of minor league ball, then go play football at the University of Georgia, and now he's the MVP in the Banana Ball Championship League, and was drafted before Nick Castellanos, who's going on to have a damn good MLB career. And the same Nick Castellanos, who was bang up for the Reds, who was an all-star in Philly, this year for the San Diego Padres, not so much. A 191 batting average, a 221 OBP. Oh, well, at least he's hitting the ball hard, right? 339 slugging for an OPS of 560. So let's just take the former all-star and designate him for assignment. In his 39 games this season, in his 122 plate appearances, notched 34 strikeouts, 5 walks for Nick Castellanos. No. And at, how old? 33? 34 maybe? Castellanos is 34. How much gas is left in that tank? Who wants this? Who wants their brand new Nick Castellanos? It's a 4-0 lead. Deep drive to left field. And finally dead today, Sean Strickland at the UFC fight. Sean Strickland has been banned. This is an odd one. The controversial UFC star, Sean Strickland, says he's banned from attending the UFC White House card, which I guess is coming up pretty soon. The foul-mouthed guy banned from UFC Freedom 250. I guess I've been out of the loop. I didn't realize that Freedom 250 was the whole event. This is news to me that the people who've been backing out of this concert were playing a concert for the White House UFC event, and now they all, not all of them, but a good portion have backed out for whatever reason they may. Sean Strickland said he's banned because he made fun of Israel and Epstein, the only male American champion banned at the White House. He also posted a selfie with Donald Trump. And maybe this leads me to my biggest point on the whole thing. I don't care. It's like, I like the UFC. I don't know if I need to. It's coming up Sunday, June 14th. So we're 10 days away, Paramount Plus. I don't know if that is necessarily appointment viewing for me. Don't have it on the calendar. If I miss that, if Sean Strickland misses it, my life's not going to change. I'm going to wake up on Monday, June 15th, and everything's going to be okay. Whether or not they do a UFC fight at the White House or a UFC fight in Las Vegas, I guess I'm just not that dialed into it. And Sean Strickland, for whatever his beliefs are, or if he has been banned for criticizing the government, banned from Freedom 250, then all right. If that changes your life, okay. I confidently say I'm going to be good We're rolling on over here.
Anyway.
Those are our obituaries. That's who's dead today. It is now time for the Quickie. Top 5 headlines in all sports. Addy Bates reads them. Drake Toll responds. Curtis plays the sounds.
Here's your first headline. Wemby vows revival after Spurs let that one go.
Victor Wembanyama was bad. Vic would tell you that he was bad, too. That was those were comments he made post-game saying, hey, I agree with Coach. I wasn't very good today. I've got to be better. That is to the tune of Wemby finishing 6 for 21, 2 for 9 from deep. His 26 points were anchored by 12 for 13 from the free throw line. So, 26 points, 12 boards, 3 blocks in a vacuum. You're like, wow, Victor Wembanyama was great. But no, not even close. He was neutralized by Karl Anthony Towns. He was neutralized by Mitchell Robinson when Robinson was on the floor in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And in 38 minutes, Victor Wembanyama did not look like the alien that we were promised in the biggest game of his career. But to shine light elsewhere, negative like that is, De'Aaron Fox, 3 for 13, 7 points. I haven't gone in on him yet. But 0 for 4 from deep, 3 for 13 from the field, 7 points in his 38 minutes. De'Aaron Fox did 4 rebounds, 5 assists. That's not even great for 38 minutes of a guy who's supposed to lead your team. 3 turnovers to boot. The Spurs did not play well last night, and it showed. They lost by 10, double digits at home, 105-95 to the Knicks. It's a minute.
Second headline for the day. Texas topples Texas Tech in Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Finals.
1 game away from back-to-back from Mike White. This is becoming... Mike White, the Oregon coach, had built a premier program at the Pacific Northwest, then drops down to Texas to see if he can do the same thing, and hard place to win. For as many resources as Texas has, the pressure you're put into to win in Austin is a different kind of beast. I think that's why guys like Charlie Strong, Tom Herman in football couldn't pull it off, and Rodney Terry in basketball. And UT's reinvestment into softball or basketball or football means they need the right head coach. They've got the right head coach. Like him or not, Mike White is the right head coach and is building, dare I say, if Texas wins one more game, a dynasty in Austin. It was a 5-run first inning for the Longhorns against Nigel Kennedy and company. The immediately off the bat, dominance that Texas showcased last night was too much for Tech to handle. And if they don't get out, that is Texas Tech, if they don't get out to a pretty commanding lead, and throwing Terry's not going to work. That's who got roughed up last night. If they don't get out to a pretty commanding lead tonight, this could be a Texas back-to-back Texas repeat in college softball.
Here's your third headline. A fan ran into the court yesterday, and it stopped Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
We had a streaker. He was not naked. Ignore the hole. He just wanted a selfie with Victor Wembanyama.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person.
Ran on the floor at a pretty rough time, too. 6:28 left to go. Knicks were leading 92-86. Pretty immediately after the fan runs on the floor, the Spurs go on a 9-0 run to go up 95-94. So, who's to say the Spurs didn't, this is sarcasm. Who's to say they didn't pay the fan? Hey, just run out there, take a selfie with Wemby, stop the game. He just full-on stopped. Watching the video, I watched the video a couple times this morning. Just full-on stopped right in front of Wemby. See the selfie, big guy? Like between Wemby and Mitchell Robinson. Right at the three-point, like on the wing. And then 2 security guards were like, all right, you're coming with us. And Wembanyama said post-game, I've never been in that situation. I don't know how to act. It really surprised me almost as much as that time when a bat crossed the court. That was a couple years ago in a game between San Antonio and Minnesota. Whatever it is about the San Antonio Spurs and bats being on the floor, it's become a trend. And good that everybody's safe. That fan is banned for life.
Here's your fourth headline. Adam Silver says that the Clippers investigation needs to wrap up soon.
I want to agree with Adam Silver. I am almost always pro investigation wrapping up soon. But I don't think rushing this one is the way. You'll remember this LA Clippers scandal is their potential salary cap circumvention. There are these alleged findings, Pablo Torres, where it all kind of came from, the former ESPN reporter, and the accusation is that Ballmer and Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers and company, were using some third-party company to funnel more money to Kawhi Leonard to circumvent the cap. Hey, we'll give you a very team-friendly contract, and then we'll pay you some more on the side through this company that may or may not exist. That's all allegedly what happened, and now the investigation is ongoing. I, again, agree with the NBA commissioner that, hey, figuring out a resolution here is pretty key, but don't rush this one. It could be one of the bigger NBA scandals if they actually take their time and investigate.
Here's your final headline. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred, he's worrying that the cap proposal could lead to a repeat of the 1994 strike. Wah, wah.
Well, let's give you a minute here. What are you're the baseball guru of the show. What are your thoughts on Manfred's comments? Because, I mean, we all kind of knew this. What are your thoughts on him saying it outright?
I think he's just saying exactly what we've all been thinking. The players aren't going to agree to that. Why would players say, hey, yes, you're right, you should cap our salaries. We don't actually want to make that much money. They will go on strike. A salary cap, as great as an idea, trust me, it looks great on paper. It's just not going to happen. I've said it before. You're going to need to rework the floor and TV rights deals and how that money is spent, but the cap is not going to get approved. Talk to players who are, Brent Rooker has talked about it. Why would we? Why would we accept a salary cap? Like, we've worked hard for this money. And yes, that is true. I think the way you also can tap into this is you rework deferrals. That's a big one. You don't have to say, hey, you can't make this much money. Let's just structure how we give it to you. And we change that up a little bit. That way you're not dealing with this Dodger situation. But then we've also had guests on this show who have talked about it. These other organizations who are winning. They are finding ways to win. So I think there are changes that are going to be made. I don't see a salary cap happening at all because I know the players will never agree to it.
Yeah, they have no reason to. It's kind of stupid for them. Good for the players. Stand your ground. I don't want a lockout. I'd love a solution so we can keep doing baseball. You know what? As a Rangers fan, we don't need to do baseball. We're good. We can take a pause on baseball for a while. Everything's going to be okay. When we come back, Russell Wilson is retiring. He confirmed it and joining CBS. And Micah Parsons out until at least mid-October. How does that change the complexion of the Packers as a contender? Let's look at the first half of their schedule and see what it means for those Cats in Green Bay. It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You can get involved. 310-840-4910. Call or text 310-840-4910. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Vegas stole game.
solidify his Hall of Fame status as a member of the Broncos. And then you'll remember that disastrous 2022 season where he threw 16 touchdowns to his 11 interceptions over the course of his 15 games, where there were TikTokers who were posting, what will there be more of? Russell Wilson passing touchdowns this year or bathrooms in Russell Wilson's house, which I think there were 15 bathrooms in Russell Wilson's house. So he barely eclipsed touchdowns over bathrooms as a ratio. And while his second year in Denver was better, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in his 15 games, it never came to fruition with the Broncos. And that's where it kind of petered out. You know, Aaron Rodgers is still in the spotlight, has been in the spotlight since long before Russ was in the league, was winning a Super Bowl before Russ was in the league. And Aaron Rodgers is still hanging around. We talked about Tom Brady and Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, kind of that era of quarterback up until their dying day, up until they retired. Phillip Rivers played in the NFL last year. We discussed these names, these creatures as quarterbacks, these NFL legends, until they left. Russell Wilson? Not really. We kind of gave up on him a little bit. Like, when's the last time you talked legitimately about Russell Wilson being a factor, a serious factor in the National Football League? Not with Pittsburgh. Not really with Denver. Not with the Giants. His last year in Seattle was efficient, but a pretty severe downtick from his previous stats. And now he's retiring. And instead of getting this beautiful swan song of a Hall of Fame quarterback, because he is a Hall of Famer, his stats back that up. Russ threw for 47,000 yards in his career, 353 touchdowns, 5,000 rushing yards. He's top 3, 5,500 rushing yards, top 3 in NFL history. He is a Hall of Famer. He's got the ring. We can't argue that. But it's weird to see a Hall of Famer at the most important position, maybe in sports, dip out, and it's almost unceremonious. No one really seemed to care. If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to see it, does it make a sound? If a Russell Wilson retires from the NFL and no one acknowledges it, did he ever really leave? Some of the biggest and best moments from his career might spark that feeling inside of you. I want to take you back 8 years ago when the thought of, man, Russell Wilson's going to retire one day. You as a Seattle Seahawks fan, Russell Wilson's going to retire one day. Russ is going to get traded or leave, and that's going to be a devastating day. What a legend he is in Seattle. And I know that person, Mr. Unlimited, Broncos country, let's ride. I know him being kind of goofy changed the rhetoric around him. But Legion of Boom, Super Bowl 48, the defense earned the headlines, but the quarterback, the sophomore back in 2013, Russell Wilson, helped get you there. 2013, Macklemore's on the radio. Russell Wilson throwing darts. And this young kid is taking the league by storm. He was flawless in the Super Bowl. 18 for 25, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 123.1 passer rating, and a 43-8 blowout. That was Seattle's Lombardi Trophy with quarterback Russell Wilson. 2014, Green Bay Packers, Seattle Seahawks, NFC Championship. May have played the worst game of his life. 4 interceptions. But down 19-7, late in the fourth quarter, breathtaking comeback. Rushing touchdown, 2-point conversion, forcing overtime, and a 35-yard deep ball to Jermaine Kearse for the game-winning touchdown. That's the Russell Wilson who retired. The moon ball to Tyler Lockett. His athletic genius put into one play. Was that I think it was Thursday night, either Monday night or Thursday night, almost positive Thursday night against the Rams. Rolls out of the pocket, high arching, beautiful moon ball. Drops over the shoulder. Tyler Lockett keeps the toes in bounds. Next gen stats calculated the pass at a 6.3% chance from a completion probability standpoint. 5 touchdowns to open the season in 2020 against the Atlanta Falcons. Let Russ cook. Remember that? Let Russ cook. and the 2020 Walter Payton Man of the Year. That's who we lost. That's who's retiring from the NFL. That's the Russell Wilson I choose to remember as the guy with 47,000 passing yards, 5,500 rushing yards, 330 touchdowns. That's my Russell Wilson. Congrats on a great career, Russ. Excited to see you on CBS. Now, Micah Parsons will not return to the Green Bay Packers until mid-October. Whew. When I tell you this, it could be a visceral reaction from you because it's commonplace that one guy, one player can't affect a franchise or a single team this much. But the Packers are catastrophic without Micah Parsons. And I get it. You jolt a bit. Like, you're losing one guy. It's not catastrophic. It's a big word for losing one guy. No. If you want to know how much Micah Parsons means to the defense, the same Micah Parsons who is coming back from torn ACL, how much he means, Packers are sitting pretty. Before Parsons went down, the number 2 overall seed in the NFC. They were 9-4-1. Remember that tie against the Cowboys? And then when Parsons went down, that was it. When Parsons tore his ACL, it was over. 0-4 after that for Green Bay. Points per game allowed, 20 with Parsons out there. Points per game allowed, 27.5 without him. Total yards per game allowed, 294 with Micah Parsons. Without him, 405. Sacks per game as a team with Micah Parsons, 2.5. Without Micah Parsons, 1. Losing him is catastrophic for the Green Bay Packers. And the hopes that he could be back early in the 2026 season are now dashed. I remember I was there. I saw that Caleb Williams fourth quarter, the comeback, the magic. I remember the Green Bay Packers fall apart and seeing Micah Parsons on the sideline, panning the camera to Micah. And Caleb Williams, 31-27, Bears over the Packers, and thinking, what could have been if Parsons played in this game? If Micah Parsons was healthy, is it different? You can't just replace a player who makes history every time he's out there. 14 games at Green Bay, 12.5 sacks, 79 pressures, 26 QB hits. The first player in NFL history to record 12-plus sacks in each of his first 5 professional seasons. Now that guy's out till October. That raises the question. You then ask, I ask, okay, who do the Packers play to start their year? Are these games winnable for Green Bay? And I've got really good news if you're a fan of the Green Bay Packers. Game 1, Minnesota. Yeah, it's on the road, and I think Minnesota's good. The Packers could very well lose that game. Minnesota wasn't a playoff team. Week 2, the New York Jets. New York Jets were not a playoff team. Week 3, the Atlanta Falcons. If you'll remember back with me to last season, the Atlanta Falcons were, you nailed it there, not a playoff team. Week 4 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guess who failed to make the playoffs? Tampa. You sensing a trend here? Green Bay doesn't have it that bad before they get to Chicago. And I say get to, they play at home. They'll host the Bears on October 11th. Then the Dallas Cowboys, October 18th. Then the Detroit Lions, October 25th. If Micah's back somewhere in there, I can trust the Packers to beat Minnesota. And maybe the Vikings look different with Kyler Murray. Maybe the Vikings look rejuvenated. I can trust the Packers. Jordan Love and company. New York Jets, certainly trust them to win that. At home against the Atlanta Falcons. All right. I mean, again, this isn't Minnesota, New York, Atlanta, Tampa. Until you get to Chicago, you're not facing a playoff team. The week after Chicago, you get Dallas. And Dallas has the worst defense of all time. The Packers are missing Micah Parsons, but the schedule doesn't reflect juggernauts. Later on, they get the road game against Detroit is not going to be easy. Carolina will be improved. That's a tougher game. At New England. At L.A., they play the Rams. They'll play Buffalo. They'll play Houston. Obviously, Chicago on the road. Detroit again in division. That's all the back half of the season. The Packers open up this slate in a manageable way. So you read the news. Micah Parsons out until mid-October. Catastrophic. The Packers are catastrophic without Micah Parsons. But the teams they play, the teams I'm reading on the schedule right now, just aren't that good. They're certainly not dominant enough to guarantee the Packers will fall apart and implode without Micah Parsons because their schedule is too difficult. No. The hardest part of the year comes after the middle of October. That's when the playoff teams all come into town. That's when the Packers have to show up to make the postseason. I don't sleep through Minnesota. I don't sleep through Atlanta. I don't sleep through Tampa Bay. But they're really winnable games for Matt LaFleur, who might be coaching for his job in 2026. So Micah's out until October, but the schedule gives you some reprieve if you're a cheesehead. Oh, nice. I'm flying to Milwaukee today. Spotted cow, baby. Yeah. I had a whole Wisconsin week, banana ball, the party animals, Loco Beach Coconuts. I'll be on CW for a couple games this weekend. It's like, what do we do that's Wisconsin themed? Like, cheese curds and beer, man. Yeah.
Ignore the whole.
Cheese curds and beer. It's pretty awesome. I'm a Wisconsin guy. When we come back, are the Spurs done? I mean, Wemby didn't look good, and Brunson didn't look good, and the Knicks won by double digits on the road. Are the Spurs too tired to finish this thing out? It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The Women's College World Series.
drive on the railroad, baby, you will accompany me. Oh, if we're fools alive, woman, then a happy fool I would rather be. Oh, baby, I'll be glad to learn from you. And darling, I know you will be glad to learn from me. And if we get down and things get sad, we can cheer up each other and grin, 'cause things just ain't that bad. If we're fools in life, then a happy fool I would rather be. Day by day, just one step at the time. 'Cause woman, you have given me so much just to ease this stubborn old aching heart of mine. I don't care where they came from, and I don't care what they might say. Woman, you've been loving in my corner all the way, day by day. It's the magic of kindness flowing all the time.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sport. Oh, my goodness. The Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. We had one of the greatest guests of all time yesterday on the Drake Toll Show. You can go back and listen to the show burned down. The Drake Toll Show clearly, definitively yesterday burned down. And this is a shameless plug. This could be the last time you ever watch the Drake Toll Show or keep up with this show. But on yesterday's YouTube stream from roughly 8:20 a.m. on, chaos ensues. Can I hear it one more time, Curtis? Curtis? Yep, that was a real thing that was said on this show yesterday. That was a real quote from this show. That's all I can give you. It's all I can give you. But an all-timer, and the YouTube chat, man, they had a field day with one of the great snafus that the Drake Toll Show has ever seen. Speaking of snafus, the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, come on. Everybody going into the NBA Finals, everybody, it's not hyperbolic, everybody was saying, all right, San Antonio is a much better team. Who has the better star? Who would you rather have, Jalen Brunson or Victor Wembanyama? Oh, obviously Victor Wembanyama. Of these two teams, no finals experience, who does that lend itself toward? The Spurs, who have Greg Popovich in their back pocket, or the Knicks, who haven't been here since 1999? Well, the Spurs. All right. Home court advantage, who's got it? San Antonio. Great. Everything points at a San Antonio victory. Everything points at San Antonio winning the Larry O'Brien. But then last night, it all fell apart. What came to fruition is the idea that I told you a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Jalen Brunson, as weird as it is, because his name is not Luka, his name is not LeBron, his name is not SGA, his name is not Wemby. Jalen Brunson, the star, he's a star, is the best player in the postseason. And your brain, I just don't think the human brain works that way. I don't think you can hear that and immediately go, yeah. Jalen Brunson's better than Victor Wembanyama. Jalen Brunson's better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But I'm watching it, but it is the case. And Brunson did not have a good game. The New York Knicks won this contest off Brunson not having a good game. Yeah, he dropped 30 points. But if you watch this, you were frustrated with Jalen Brunson up until the very end, where he dropped 13 points late, and he's back. There he is, the closer, Jalen Brunson, whose stat line, again, not sexy, 12 for 31, 2 for 9 from deep, only got to the free throw line 4 times. 30 points, but 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers. That's Jalen Brunson's stat line. And you're going to sit here and tell me he had a masterclass? He was the guy he was the catalyst to get it done? Yeah. When the moment was the biggest, Jalen Brunson was the guy. So how did the Knicks win the rest of the game? I mean, there was more than just the last 4 minutes of the contest. Well, yeah, that's where Josh Hart came in. He could have been the player of the game. 27 minutes, 3 points. Now, how the hell is a guy who played 27 minutes, 3 points, on 1 for 5 shooting, 0 for 3 from deep, how is that guy possibly the player of the game? Josh Hart, 15 rebounds in those 27 minutes, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, 4 steals, and a block. Hart was dominant defensively. Oh, and Karl-Anthony Towns had his 34 minutes of play, 18 points on 7 for 15 shooting, 12 boards, 18 points, 12 boards, 4 assists, and a block to boot for Cat. He was the guy who was asked in Minnesota to go win the title. He was the guy who was asked in Minnesota to be the franchise player that changes all of history for the Timberwolves. Couldn't do it. Petered out. Goes to New York. Isn't a bona fide star in New York. Isn't a bona fide star in the NBA or for the Knicks. You know the name Karl-Anthony Towns, but not for what he's done necessarily with the New York Knicks. You remember it from Minnesota. The guy who couldn't finish, the guy who couldn't get it done in Minnesota, who's with the New York Knicks now, and last night he put a body on Victor Wembanyama. He put a body on the best basketball player in the universe and made Wemby look human. If you can make the alien look human, that's a really good recipe for you to have success in the NBA Finals as the New York Knicks. And Karl-Anthony Towns did not allude to this being easy, the task of guarding a Wemby, the task of winning on the road in San Antonio. Here is audio from him walking through the tunnel post-game, calling this, he gave the respect to San Antonio, saying effectively, neither team in this series deserves to lose.
That was a prize fight. That was 2 heavyweights going at it. Form and Ali. Man, Fury and Wilder. That was a fight. It's sickening one team had to win, but we stayed consistent, we stayed disciplined, we was willing to fight today. But we got to be better next time.
It is sickening that one team had to win. The respect between these two organizations, between these two teams, these iterations of the Spurs and the Knicks, is incredibly impressive. We lack a villain. There's no true villain in this. But both squads you can root for them. Both squads somehow, there's something you can root for. Last year, incredible story for the Pacers, and seeing the Thunder win just felt like the Make-A-Wish for Indiana was over at the end of the run. You know, it was clear who to root for and who not to root for. LeBron versus Steph. These LeBron legacy lovers, these LeBron legacy haters, there's somebody to root for, to root against. The Lakers in the bubble, somebody to root for, somebody to root against. The Heat as an 8 seed. We usually have a story that you can latch onto. Now we have 2 stories you can latch onto, which effectively is 0. We don't know who to hate in this series. And it sure as hell can't be Karl-Anthony Towns. He joined Inside the NBA last night, Charles Barkley and crew, and gave one of the most mature, cerebral answers I've heard out of a player after a high-leverage moment, a high-leverage game, where he said that the NBA Finals felt like an AAU tournament with his mom comforting him from above.
I don't want to sound sugarcoating or anything like that, but Shaq, you would know what I'm saying. I don't know what it was, but I just felt a calm and a peace that, I don't know, had to come from the woman above. So I felt really confident about today. I felt good. I felt like a kid. It felt like it was just fun out here. This is something that as a kid you always dream about. You always hope that you just hope to be an NBA player, let alone to be in the NBA Finals. And all day it was just a weird feeling. It felt like I was a kid getting ready to go play my Saturday AAU games and Sunday AAU games. And in a way, I felt like I was seeing her in the stands, and it was fun. It was really fun, and it was really comforting because, game one of the NBA Finals, you're told how the pressure is going to be and everything is, and I don't know. It felt like a certain presence was here that was very comforting and very loving, and I felt like I could have fun out here in game one of the NBA Finals, which is the weirdest thing because you would expect to have the pressure at the highest.
Yes, rest in peace to your beautiful mother.
I appreciate it.
This is
that kind of cat. That level of, and it goes even further for a Karl Anthony Towns, who was that star, supposed to be that star, could not get it done as the star. It makes it even more impressive. He can sit there with Shaq and say, hey, man, this just feels easy right now. I'm at peace with the whole situation. Scary if you're San Antonio. Also scary to hear Mike Brown, the head coach of the New York Knicks, come to the podium and say, hey, even I was mad at the officiating and had to be calmed down. And that level of maturity out of New York is something that I think is going to carry them through the rest of the postseason. Hopefully, if you're a New York Knicks fan, you're able to relish. Because, look, Game 2 will happen tomorrow no matter what. Hopefully you're able to relish in a Game 1 victory and hold on to that hope no matter what happens to finish off this series. And the series hasn't begun. The road team won a game. No matter what happens to finish off this series, the New York Knicks just won a game in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999 and equaled their win total in an NBA Finals. They won one game in 99. Gentlemen's sweep, 4-1 against the San Antonio Spurs. You've already equaled that in this series. Again, Game 2 tomorrow in San Antonio. Game 2 in the Stanley Cup Finals tonight. Carolina Hurricanes hosting the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Canes lost Game 1 at home. Can they get back their get back? Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. When we come back, our idiot of the day is Nick Saban? Interesting, per se. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
It's getting to the point where I'm no fun anymore. I am sorry. Sometimes it hurts so badly I must cry out loud. I am lonely. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Remember what we've said and done and felt about each other. Oh, babe, have mercy. Don't let the past remind us of what we are not now. I am not grieving. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Tearing yourself away from me now. You are free. And I am crying. this does not mean I don't love you. I do. That's forever. Yes, and for always. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Something inside is telling me that I've got your secret. Are you still listening? Here is the lock, and laughter the key to your heart. And I love you. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard, and you make it hard, and you make it hard, and you make it hard. Friday evening, Sunday in the afternoon. What have you got to lose? Tuesday morning, please be gone, I'm tired of you. What have you got to lose? Can I tell it like it is? Listen to me, baby. It's my heart that's a something, it's a die, and that's what I have to lose. I've got an answer. I'm going to fly away. What have I got to lose? Will you come see me Thursdays and Saturdays? Hey, hey, hey. What have you got to lose?
Dancing on the people, rolled up at the after joint, dancing on the people, people dancing on the people. I got people on the people, people dancing on the people with the people on the people, smoking CO2. See me, see you.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports Yap. It would be the Westwood One Sports Yap. That's what we do. That's the point of the show. One Reddit user posts, are shirtless walk-ups being overused in Banana Ball?
Yeah.
Never. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. New York Knicks, San Antonio Spurs NBA Finals. Texas Tech and Texas College World Series. The Canes and the Golden Knights Stanley Cup Final. What else do you want, man? I can give you this. I can give you our Idiot of the Day.
Idiot of the Day.
All right. I haven't gotten to cover this yet. I haven't really wanted to, and I've seen enough, and I'm going to discuss it. We're going to talk about it for a second. And it is Joe Royer, rookie tight end, Cleveland Browns, drafted in 2026, out of the University of Cincinnati. A video posted by Dub Kleiman yesterday says, and I'm going to read this to you. Insane. A new video of Browns rookie tight end Joe Royer has surfaced and gone viral of him sending a message to girls that are under 18. Royer, allegedly, this could be AI, I guess. When you're 18, hit me up, then I'll F you. The Royer files keep getting crazier. Another one. Yikes. An old TikTok of Brown's 24-year-old tight end, Joe Royer, and his 18-year-old girlfriend has resurfaced online and gone viral. The Royer files never end. More. Joe Royer, who is the 24-year-old tight end of the Cleveland Browns, and his 18-year-old girlfriend, alleged girlfriend, Riley Hope, 6-year age gap between the couple. After initial reporting, said 24-year-old Joe Royer has gone viral for dating an 18-year-old daughter of his position coach. So it's likely he knew her before she was 18. Well, that's not good. Now, if we've learned anything about professional sports, pro athletes, you can do things like this. We'll pretty much always let you get away with it. Or if you don't get away with it, we'll have legends of the game and Hall of Famers say, let them play. Who cares? The internet drama surrounding this is over the alleged relationship that is taken off on Twitter. Underage girl situation is what they're calling it. Who's involved? 24-year-old tight end, Cleveland Browns. 18-year-old Riley Stepp, daughter of Josh Stepp, who was Royer's tight ends coach at Cincinnati. Rumors started when she graduated high school, and he was in her high school graduation photos. Stepp posting a proud family photo, and fans saying, wait a second, isn't that the 24-year-old NFL rookie tight end at your daughter's high school graduation?
Yeah.
Now that it's gone viral, people started digging into this. Riley turned 18 in September of 2025 and had posted pictures wearing Royer's game jersey during the 2024 college football season. The two having multiple cozy interactions, reposts on Instagram dating back months. Well, because she's currently 18, nothing illegal is happening right now, but court of public opinion and internet backlash is extreme with the 24 versus 18 age gap and the idea that she was in high school a week ago. He's in the NFL. And they've known each other, very likely, since well before she was 18. And again, the story has now picked up traction. Neither Joe Royer, the dad, Joe Royer, or the dad, Coach Stepp, or the Cleveland Browns, or the girl have made any comment. Addie Bates, the lone girl on the Drake Toll Show. I guess there are only three of us. Thoughts? I'm not going to be pointed with the question. Just generally, thoughts on this.
I feel like the world is so big. There's so many people.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person.
I don't understand why we go after underage people.
Are coaches' daughters who are underaged, too? Add that in there.
The coach's daughters thing is already weird. When you were dating a coach's daughter, what was that like?
Say, when I was dating a coach's daughter?
Yeah, didn't you date a coach's daughter?
I've never dated a coach's daughter. What?
Texas, TCU?
When did this rumor start? That I dated a TCU coach's daughter?
You can thank our boss for that.
What in the world? The closest I've gotten is my sister dated Jeff Grimes' son.
It was your sister. You did not date your sister. He did not date his sister.
Yeah.
I did not date my sister.
No. It was that. Yeah.
I'm not in the NFL. I can't do things like that. I can't.
He's only from Arkansas, guys. Don't bully him.
Yeah, no, this was, she for a couple years dated, Jeff Grimes was the OC at BYU, Baylor. He was at LSU for a while. He's at Wisconsin now, OC at Wisconsin now.
I feel like if you're just an athlete dating another, coach's daughter, or son, that's just like a recipe for disaster.
Maybe, but like he played for it. That's even weirder. If you date someone whose parent is a coach, that's more normal. Like, you don't have to avoid dating people because their parents are coaches. But
when
if
you're
they're
an athlete
your
at
coach,
the same school, when you're the athlete at the same school, I think that can still get dicey.
I haven't seen that. My sister, they weren't athletes at the same school, so
Oh, I thought you said
maybe it gets
Baylor.
dicey. You're saying like, if a track, let's say a girl who's on the track team dates the son of the offensive line coach, that's a problem.
I'm not saying it's a problem. I just think it can get a little dicey. I just think there's just, I don't know. I feel like athletics and universities and stuff. Thank you, Jasmine, for opening up the window. Already just gets a little. How do I say the word? Just y'all all start mingling together, and it gets a little weird.
Are you saying incestual? Is that?
Yeah, I just didn't want to say that word on air.
Yeah, but it's not incest isn't like, that. It's just the only way to really describe how, yes, things are communal can be communal in an athletic sphere. Sure, but yeah, it's true. That's true. If you're at the same school, yes. That's not even the conversation.
I have
she
a story.
was 17.
I have a story. I do have a story that kind of relates to this that I will have to talk about one day. We will have to talk about it one day.
Well, can you not today? Now you leave. The people of America want to know.
Yeah, it's called a tease. You're gonna have to
Touch
come
yourself.
back and listen to the show.
Whoa. All right. Idiot of the day. Nick Saban? Yeah, a bit of a hypocrite here. Saban says the NCAA has lost control of the game and points to Ole Miss and Trinidad Chambliss. Here's Nick in D.C. yesterday.
Right now in college football, we have no rules. We have state laws. We have different in every state. We have litigation. The NCAA cannot enforce their own rules because every time they try to enforce the rule, there's a lawsuit. So, an example would be Ole Miss's quarterback. They say he can't play next year. He's playing next year because of litigation. So, but this is just the way it is. It's become an arm race. Who spends the most has got the best chance to win. But I think it's a race to the bottom because if you don't spend to win, you lose your fan base and you don't have any revenue.
We are all looking for the guy who did this. Nick Saban certainly is innocent in the killing college sports conversation. The same Nick Saban who... Nick Saban at one time was the highest paid college football coach, while his players were making $0. And it's just weird some of the things he's saying with the knowledge of Nick Saban being a guy who is kind of in the fray of causing a lot of these issues.
He is the person he's the problem. He is the problem. Hey, let me go get a private jet for you to come to our school. Let me do all this kind of stuff for you. And now that he's out of it, now that he's not coaching anymore, he's like, hey, look at all these schools and everything that they're doing. This is wrong because he's not doing it anymore. He's not doing it. I'm sure he's a little mad that you can do all these things, all this money, and now that he's out of it, he's like, well, I just did all this under the table. Just gotta do it the old-fashioned way, like a mafia sort of deal, okay? I just think if there's one coach in the history of football who should not be talking about this, it's Nick Saban. And that Outlook email chime.
Yeah. We're all looking for the guy who did this. Idiot of the day. Americans. Probably me. Nothing new there. This went viral again yesterday. From overtime, 60 minutes overtime, they sat down. And 60 minutes is going through a lot of whatever they're going through. That they're burning down. I'm not really sure why. And so folks were posting best of 60-minute clips. And this one blew up yesterday. And I think this is the first time that I've heard this. From 60 Minutes, a sit-down with the president.
I do want to ask you about crypto's richest man, a billionaire known as CZ. He pled guilty in 2023 to violating anti-money laundering laws.
Right.
The government at the time said that CZ had caused significant harm to U.S. national security, essentially by allowing terrorist groups like Hamas to move millions of dollars around. Why did you pardon him?
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is.
I love that. Are you ready? Hold on. Sit down. Before I tell you this, I've got no idea what you're talking about. You ready? Everybody good? Now what, huh? You ready? Oh, telling you, man. It gets better and better. I'm going to shoot you straight. I got no idea who that is. We don't care. Next question.
Anyway.
Idiot of the day. Texas Tech softball? Yeah, here you go. I'm going to say it one more time. I wouldn't pitch to Katie Stewart. That's what Madison Shipman said on ESPN yesterday during the alt telecast. And here's what happened against the Texas Tech Red Raiders in favor of the UT Longhorns.
Oh, Katie Stewart.
And we're going to see how many times I'm going to say don't pitch to Katie Stewart. I'm going to say it right here. Don't pitch to Katie Stewart.
Yeah, they for sure
Do
will.
You just want to put her on? You don't need to just go ahead and throw the intentional walk out there, but yeah, I'd be pitching nowhere close to the zone. If she gets on, she gets on.
So she's a toxer. She started 0 for 6, by the way, in the World Series, and since then 5 for 8. No big deal.
3 home runs.
3 home runs.
I'm probably going to challenge her more away. Like if I was going to throw to Katie Stewart, I don't want her to be able to get up and in on something.
Yeah.
I know it seems dangerous. Let her get her hands extended, but
nope. I'm going to say it one more time. I wouldn't pitch to Katie Stewart.
Is Nisha coming in?
Yeah, Nisha's warming up in the bullpen right below us, but her swing is so sound and pretty going through the zone. And I know she's made some adjustments. She's gotten a little bit lower in her legs. Her hands are just a little bit higher. The way that she's able to get that barrel cleared through the zone, down pitches, up pitches, the bat, curveballs. I wouldn't have thrown it there.
Audio courtesy of ESPN. Katie Stewart, the junior at Kentucky, 2026 SEC Player of the Year, her 31st home run, 79th RBI off that 2-run blast in the first inning against Texas Tech. It was a dominant win for the University of Texas in Game 1, best 2 out of 3 series in the College Softball World Series, and the finals underway with a Lone Star State showdown. And now Texas, after their 7-3 victory, 10 hits, 7 runs. Texas Tech, their 3 runs coming off of 3 hits. They'll play again tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. Idiot of the day. Anyone who sends their wife or daughter to this. It's our final idiot of the day. LSU football posts kick off the 2026 season with the Tigers at The Huddle, an exclusive clinic for women. This is real. Super, super real. You can go to The Huddle, LSU football women's clinic at 4:30 p.m. Central Time at the LSU Indoor Practice Facility, July 30th. You are required to wear a white T-shirt and be prepared to get wet, lady.
What?
That's not the press release, but come on. The responses to this are incredible. My favorite came from Sidelines Texas A&M that says all caps, "Do not send your wife or daughter to the Lane Kiffin camp. Do not send your wife or daughter to the Coach O and Lane Kiffin women's only camp." Addie, will you be in attendance?
I think that Arch Manning should host one of these.
Oh my God.
Be front row. You wanted my opinion.
Coming up, former NBA head of PR Pete Souza joins the Drake Toll Show. Pete Souza of Westwood One Sports joins the Drake Toll Show. Talk Victor Wembanyama. Is a collapse for the Spurs near? They already lost Game 1. It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Go on trial just
just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king regales his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country, you need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation, glad they conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down, the champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch, he lost the comeback, he lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo Kendall. I guess time does make fools of us all.
to the brain.
It is the Drake Toll Show. 8 o'clock hour rolls on the East Coast. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. You can stay involved. 310-840-4910. The San Antonio Spurs fall by double digits at home. Now a 12-game win streak in the postseason for the New York Knicks, joining the 1999 San Antonio Spurs, who won 12 in a row. Oh, and those dominant Warriors with Kevin Durant, who did the feat 15 times consecutively in the postseason. This is a dominant Knicks team. Feels weird for a squad that is so foreign to the NBA Finals to be so dominant in a postseason like this with Jalen Brunson, this unsung little just Dallas guard turned superstar, leading the way. Pete Souza of the Pete Souza Show of Westwood One Sports. You've heard him on ESPN, NBC Sports, and KWTX in Waco, Texas. Pete, what do you not do? Joins the Drake Toll Show. Pete, that's a question I've given a couple people before we even get into what we saw last night. From the standpoint, you worked PR in the NBA for years. From the standpoint, I'm going to ask you a marketing question, not even going to ask you a PR question. Standpoint of Spurs Knicks as an optic for the NBA. These two logos, these two brands in the finals, is this good for the association?
It's great. It's a golden parachute after a season where we were stuck talking about load management, tanking, how bad the All-Star game might be, a desperate in-season tournament once again. It's like all that's wiped away. And now I'm waking up. I'm in Philadelphia. Right, I'm home. I'm actually getting married on Saturday. We can talk about that in a minute. But
yeah,
I wake up. I wake up and I hear the basketball dribbling. Right at 7 a.m. local time here, and there's a kid just shooting hoops in the morning. That is a residual effect of the NBA Finals being so good and so exciting. We were all there, and people listening to the show know what I'm talking about. Where you just get so excited by a product, by a basketball game, that you've got to play it yourself. That's how good this is. And it's the exact opposite from, oh man, this isn't not atrocious product, but just kind of there was an ick to the NBA for a minute this year. That is long gone. It is very good for the NBA that this matchup is taking place. And forget about the fact that not only is it a great matchup, but you're talking about a team in New York that, as you mentioned, has won 12 straight. It's amazing.
Jalen Brunson being that wily guard, this unsung hero who is now front page news in New York City, or Victor Wembanyama, who was driven to tears after a Game 7 win. That's the care factor that NBA fans have been looking for. There's the prevalence, this used narrative of, oh, they just jog down the floor and they travel and they shoot threes and it's boring and I hate the product and they all sit out. The Spurs and the Knicks are the inverse of that old take about the National Basketball Association. That was on display last night. Karl Anthony Towns calling it a Ali and Frazier boxing match that neither team deserved to lose. I'll leave it broad for you. What did you make of Game 1 in San Antonio where the Knicks prevailed?
Well, you mentioned Brunson. It's just a cause greater than himself. And these three guys, Brunson, Jason Hart, and you can throw in Karl Anthony Towns, but then, of course, Mikal Bridges. And the way that, those are all Villanova guys outside of Karl Anthony Towns. And that's how they won at Villanova, right? It's a secret, dude. It's like winning is greater than yourself. The team is greater than you. Jalen Brunson leaving the floor last night after scoring 19 points in the second half, 30 points overall, hitting 2 clutch shots. The offensive rebound he gathers and sticks the 3, and then he hits that rainbow jumper to kind of ice it. And he has a scowl on his face. Like, not a smile, not even like a smirk, a scowl. And I know there was some kind of exchange maybe with the fan right after the game ended. But I even said, I was in my living room, and I was like, come on, man, smile. Because I love the guy, but I said it with a chuckle, like, that's who this guy is. And he doesn't want to be a star. He wants to be a champion. And in the NBA, we got a lot of guys who want to be stars, understandably so. But when you have the DNA of a champion, it looks different. And literally, it physically looks different. It's a guy who's undersized, who has mastered his craft from all the lonely work in the gym, and it's a scowl walking off the court after an upset victory, by the way, on the road against the team favored to win the finals. It really is amazing. Like, that was my biggest takeaway, that like this Knicks team, specifically Jalen Brunson, they're showing us what a champion looks like.
I know you've got the Jay Wright connection. Does he get a ring if the Knicks win the title?
He should. I mean, when you think about it, okay, like, again, I'm here in Villanova where I grew up. I've been Jay Wright adjacent most of my life. You know, I know him. He knows my family. All the way back to Rolly Massimino basketball camp, where the first time Jay Wright stepped out there, you know, if you've ever been to a sports camp or basketball camp, like where there's a big name head coach like Rolly, there's always an assistant who runs it. And the day that Jay took over, I may have been like 7 years old, but I looked at my friend Jimmy Bell. I said, this guy's got something, you know, and he just does, dude. And the fact of the matter is, all those guys I mentioned outside of Karl Anthony Towns who played at Villanova, they developed under Jay. Mikal Bridges was a red shirt. Jalen Brunson, you know, all 4 years. Hart, same deal. They both win championships. Two of them win a pair, and that is not a one and done, right, into the NBA. It's not, and no knock on Anthony Edwards. The guy's, you know, he's a machine. Yeah. He's a force of nature. But, like, those guys have developed their game, and it's been curated to this point where you put them on a stage together. And I was watching last night, and one of the biggest things about the Knicks, different from Oklahoma City, and this is a little like inside basketball, and I'm not John Wooden, but I do notice this stuff just from being around it. The Knicks spacing is amazing. And that's got a lot to do with how they play unselfishly. Like Oklahoma City, you saw with SGA, like, you know, that whole thing was, it was so daunting for him the whole time, trying to break through that first line of defense, and then there's Wemby, and then all of a sudden you're doing a U-turn. With the Knicks, it was the spacing that allowed them to get buckets in traffic and to play real confident against Wembanyama. And I think that shows, like, it felt like Brunson had solved that riddle by the middle of the second half. And SGA, our MVP in the NBA, still hasn't figured it out. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to the development that guys like Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart experienced at Villanova. Yes, give them a ring. Give them a ring.
Pete Souza, Westwood One Sports, Pete Souza of the Pete Souza Show, ESPN, NBC Sports, joining the Drake Toll Show. And we spent a lot of time, as we should, on the New York Knicks the day after they win Game 1 of the NBA Finals on the road, come back against the San Antonio Spurs, who are up by 14. But that kind of crash, did you see a Spurs team that lacked leadership at the end, that lacked clutch gene, X factor, that was too fatigued? How did San Antonio fall apart?
Man, that's a great question. I do think that fatigue had a little bit to do with it. And I feel like there was almost, you know, a coaching aspect where Mike Brown, I think you got to give him a ton of credit. Like July 7th, 2025, the Knicks hired Mike Brown, and people are like, nah. You know, like I think it would have been more exciting, certainly for you and I, but for other people if they hired Dawn Staley. You know, Mike Brown he's just like a retread. But the way that he's eliminated, the way that those guys, Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson specifically, anticipated the movement of Victor Wembanyama. Like, it felt like they knew where he was going to go. And that's great coaching. That's how you beat a guy like that. So I don't know that it was necessarily like a choke job by the Spurs, or they didn't step up. I feel like their legs, you know, deep into the game, you could see it. And then for Wembanyama, I do think that, like, he's a human being. Like, he was shooting, you know, there was a point, I think he was 2 of 12 from the floor. I think there is an energy that can make you a little skittish when you get into your first NBA Finals game. And I don't think it's going to be an issue for him going forward. I think he'll adjust. But he had, you know, the 6 turnovers. That goes back to the defense I mentioned. De'Aaron Fox didn't play his best game. And he is, in my opinion, like their leader, their emotional leader. And he's clutch. He's a clutch player, but he shot 3 of 13, 0 of 4 from 3. Not the night he needs to have if the Spurs are going to win. I don't think that is something that we're going to see again. Like, we're not going to see a carbon copy of that performance. And it always comes in the NBA, man. It always comes down to threes. They shot 25%, the Spurs did. It's just not going to get it done. They made 11 threes, so they're going to have to, and they will, find a rhythm there. The thing about the Knicks, Drake, and this is what I think is super interesting, like, these guys are killers. And like this game 2, a lot of times you see a team, okay, we won game 1. It's almost like you seed game 2. Okay, we're going back home. We're split here. I think like with the Knicks, it's like, gosh, now if I'm a Spurs fan, I'm terrified. Like if these guys go up 2-0, it's just that tidal wave that we've seen the Knicks crash through these teams, the Sixers and the Cavs. The Knicks have played, I think, 5 games now in like 24, 25 days, something ridiculous like that. So they're fresh, and you can forget about the rust then. So I don't think it's San Antonio choking at all or not stepping up. I do think it's the Knicks absolutely on fire. And at some point, we're all going to stop saying, oh, man, like, Spurs are the better team, but the Knicks are hot. Like, I think the Knicks just might be the better team and the best team in the NBA. And I hate to go back to the Villanova thing, but it's the same way that they won 2 titles in 3 years. It was just like you saw the way those guys played. And, I went to the Final Four. They knocked Kansas with the haymaker in the first half. There was no chance. And they blew. This is in San Antonio in 2018. And then they annihilated Michigan in the final. Like, they're playing that type of basketball again. Like, they've found the cheat code, and they're punching it in every single game, and they're dominating.
Jason Tatum or Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There are names, Pete, that when you say them, you feel something in the NBA. That's that star power.
Drake Toll is a name like that.
I could dunk back in my junior year of high school, but this Knicks team, Jalen Brunson's a different name. It evokes a different kind of reaction as this gritty guy whose stats mirrored a J.J. Barea when he was in Dallas. And then he goes to New York and becomes a star. It's like we made J.J. Barea, same stats, into the best player in the NBA this postseason. And I go back to the Knicks in 2009 or 2015. They sucked, Pete. They sucked. And all of a sudden, with Jalen Brunson leading the way and Karl Anthony Towns as the second, if it doesn't have to be the star, gets to be the guy behind him, the Knicks are in the NBA Finals. How did they fired Tibbs because he couldn't win in the postseason the way they wanted to, hired Mike Brown, and it worked. How did the Knicks sneak up on America like this?
Leon Rose. And, he is obviously their basketball ops director, basically a general manager. And, he was a longtime agent. Like when I worked for the Sixers and the Bobcats, then the Hornets, he represented some of the best players in the NBA. And he has always had a relationship with Jalen Brunson through that. I mean, all the way back to his relationship with Rick Brunson, Jalen's dad. And when Jalen felt like he was kind of left out in the cold in Dallas, Rose believed in him. And he gave him a huge deal. And a lot of people were like, huh, really? And truth be told, like, he saw something in Jalen Brunson that no one else did, right? Like, he saw something in Mike Brown that no one else did. He saw something in Karl Anthony Towns that no one else did. Like, the list goes on. That is, if you look at, when you go back to what you were talking about, when the Knicks sucked on fire for so many years, right? He is the agent of change at that organization. It certainly isn't James Dolan. And we've seen all the coaches go through. I think you got to give Rose a ton of credit there for bringing this championship DNA to New York. And like anything, Drake, it goes back a ways. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, this has been building for a while because of Leon Rose and his basketball, not only his basketball acumen, but his relationships, knowing the people to bring to the table in New York, not looking at a paper and saying, okay, here are the numbers, or attending a couple events and saying, okay, this is the guy, I just watched him play with my own 2 eyes. No, it's deeper than that. And I think that is why we're seeing this. Like, that's the best question you could ask. How did they sneak up on us? They did it, like, methodically through a team that was built by a basketball genius who has relationships and X's and O's on his side.
And now the New York Knicks are in the driver's seat in the NBA Finals against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. Pete, I've kept you over time, but can I get one more for free? Can I sneak one in there?
I thought we were going to talk about Euphoria. Yeah, no problem. Let's go. What do we got? By the way, where are we at with like the euphoria thing? Everybody's talking about the show. I'm not done watching it. I don't know where we're at with rules on spoilers, but we can talk about that later, Drake. I'm a little frustrated. All right, go ahead. What's the last one? And it's always on the house for you. Yeah.
Miami Heat, Phoenix Suns, the Warriors, the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Mavs were in it with Luka a couple years. The rotating, we're changing NBA finalists like underwear in the association. We don't have a dynasty. There isn't a defining team of the 2020s like the Warriors were for the 2010s, or you have the battle between a LeBron and Kobe in the 2000s, and in the 90s you're looking at Michael Jordan. There's that storyline of the decade. I don't see that yet panning out in the 2020s. It could be a myriad of things when all is said and done. But is that good? Is the fact we don't have a dynasty and we're getting new blood, new teams, new logos into the NBA Finals, is that positive from your PR background? Is that positive for the NBA?
No. You need someone like the baddest team on the block. You need the baddest guy on the block. You need people to hate a dynasty, and that brings so many eyeballs and emotions to the table. So you would hope, if you're Adam Silver, that a team like the Knicks turns into that juggernaut, and with Wemby, a team like the Spurs stays atop the Western Conference and re-engages in the finals year after year. That is what puts a league really at an elite level. Dynasties are very good for sports. Very good.
Love it. Pete Souza, what's the best way folks can support you through the NBA Finals in the offseason?
I got a Venmo. No, just check me out. I'm not hard
wedding
to find.
Gifts. Yes, wedding gifts. Pots, pans.
The Pete Souza Show. And, before too long, we'll be back out, calling ESPN college football and college hoops and NBC college hoops. Man, it's a treat being on with you. You actually are, you're pretty good at this thing, brother. It's always a pleasure hanging with you.
Learning every day, Pete. Thanks again, boss. Good to talk to you.
All right, man. Take it easy,
We'll call
Drake.
him after the show. We'll figure out the euphoria thing at some point at 9 o'clock with You Better You Bet on in the background, too. Addy Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we come back, let's take you through the highlights last night. The Knicks did it, but how did they do it? It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
insurance with our flying. FDA, big bank is buying. Fake computer crashes, dying. Cloning, well, they're multiplying. Fashion shoots with Beckett Hansen. Courtney Love and Marilyn Manson. Your all takes run to your mansions. Come around, we'll kick your asses.
I got a sweet little baddie and she rolling in the caddy with me.
It is the Drake Toll Show.
Yeah.
Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. And Milwaukee, get ready. Cheese curds, get ready. Spotted Cow, the best beer on earth. One of them will be in my hands tonight. Oh, it's so exciting. If you need context, if you're not familiar, Spotted Cow is a Wisconsin thing, and it bangs every time. And it's great every time. It's only sold in Wisconsin. You can't get it anywhere else. And Milwaukee is in Wisconsin. Now what? Yeah, take that. Dudes rock again. And the Knicks rocked last night. Let's take you back to when they didn't rock. Spurs up 55-48. Bang! Julian Champagny beats the buzzer. Fifth three-pointer of the first half. San Antonio up by 7 at the break.
Next to shoot. Fox splits the defense, throws in the corner. Champagny puts it up, puts it in. Champagny red hot here in the first half. Final seconds knocked away. And quarter number 2 comes to an end. Champagny 5 of 6 from three-point range.
Uh-oh. Spurs up 7 with the momentum. Held the Knicks to 48 points in the first half. Yeah, I like that. And then San Antonio stretches it out. 63-50. Yeah. 8 minutes left in the third. We got that? Yeah, we do. Yeah. Just run away with it. If the game can be over, San Antonio, go up by 13 points. Here's the call on ESPN.
Fox on the spin move. Gets inside. That comes up short. Castle right there, and it rolls in. Castle on the boards.
Spurs would go up 64-50. And then everything would break loose. 65-51, I should say, and everything would break loose. 15-point lead. 15-point lead. And the Knicks go on a 25-11 run. 26-11 run. Tie the ball game. 76-76. Miles McBride bank it in. Inside 10 seconds to go in the third quarter to tie us up going to the fourth in Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
There's about a 5-second difference. Shot clock, game clock. Hart has to pass it out. McBride, corner 3. Banks ahead from the corner. Oh, my goodness. The angle on that shot.
Now we're all knotted up. Going to the fourth. And the Knicks, you hear the crowd slowly being taken out of it. 6 minutes to go. Thanks to Jalen Brunson. New York goes up 94-86.
Brunson looking. Brunson driving, layup, shot is good. A Brunson barrage here in the fourth quarter. And it's an 8-point lead, largest of the game for the Knicks.
Oh, but wait. It's the San Antonio Spurs. They have Victor Wembanyama. Come on. In the next 2.5 minutes, of the game, it was an onslaught from Mitch Johnson, the head coach of the Spurs, and San Antonio. Spurs back within 1, down 94-93 in a much more manageable game with 3.5 minutes to go.
Thought about a 3. Now drives on Towns, goes inside, layup, he banks it in, and a foul.
The Spurs sink the free throw, eventually go up 95-94 with a minute 57 to go. You hear this? 95-94, minute 57 to go. And San Antonio wouldn't score again. Jalen Brunson, of course. 37 seconds remain. The dagger to make it 101-95. The Knicks are about to win this thing.
Brunson on the drive, spins underneath, puts it up, puts it in. Jalen Brunson does it again.
And that was all she wrote. Knicks steal game 1 on the road in San Antonio. 12th straight victory for New York. Here's the final call. Mike Breen on ESPN.
It's now 12 consecutive wins for the Knicks as they take game 1 of the NBA Finals. Their 7th consecutive road game. And one of the great playoff runs in NBA history is still alive.
Top 3 now. Few other teams have this. New York in 2026, Golden State in 2017, San Antonio in 1999. That is 12 or more wins in a row in the playoffs. No Jordan Bulls, no Kobe, no LeBron, no Celtics dynasty, no Showtime Lakers. The 2026 Knicks, the 2017 Golden State Warriors, the 1999 San Antonio Spurs, the only teams to win 12 in a row in the playoffs. Those Knicks might just be undeniable. After the game was over, at the podium, I thought Mitch Johnson, the Spurs head coach, was appropriate in bringing up fatigue. Because my question is, like, dog, at what point after playing 7 against the Thunder are you just too tired to win the NBA Finals? Here's what Mitch Johnson had to say.
Y'all's playing against, your deep stuff against Oklahoma City, and then, the turnovers in the fourth quarter. How can you get that repaired? Such a quick turnaround.
I don't think it was fatigue. I'm sure guys got tired at times, but I didn't feel like anyone's performance was based on fatigue. I think we just need to be sharper and execute better and continue to work the game and not fight it at times and play the right way.
For a coach trying to convince me his team's not fatigued, Mitch Johnson sounded really tired. 105-95. Knicks over the Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Game 2 tomorrow. Game 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals tonight between the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes. In the meantime, it's time for Are You Smarter Than Drake Toll? Me versus Curtis.
We got a good one for you tonight. We got the Poindexters versus the Tolls. Curtis.
Yeah, good answer.
Curtis, are you ready? All righty, what's the first category?
Science.
Approximately, so for this one, whoever's closest to the answer gets the point. Approximately, how many flowers do honeybees need to visit in order to make 1 pound of honey?
69.
Curtis, you want to go first?
Curtis said 69.
Good answer. I'm going to say 1,800.
So Drake gets it, but the answer is 2 million.
Oh my God. Closest without going over.
Next category.
History.
Who was the 5th president of the United States?
Monroe.
Whoa! Curtis got that one.
Wow. Curtis nailed Monroe? That's nuts.
Just stretched him out a little bit. What's the
I
next?
sang the song really fast in my head is what I did.
What's the next category?
Movies.
Ooh. What do the films The Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, Carrie, and The Green Mile have in common?
Same producer.
Curtis, what's your answer?
Yeah, I have no idea.
They are all based on Stephen King stories.
Dang it. Stand By Me, Stephen King?
Yep.
What the heck?
Yep.
All right.
Music.
What singer's manager for over 2 decades was Colonel Tom Parker?
Curtis?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Elvis Presley. Easy.
All right. Drake is up 2-1.
I'm up.
Random.
This was a question at trivia yesterday. Panzerschwein is a colloquial and somewhat humorous term that was originated by German settlers in Texas who encountered this animal. Panzerschwein.
Pig?
Curtis?
A pig?
Just a pig.
Armadillo.
It is the armadillo.
Hope you got that right. Did you get it right?
Yeah, I did.
Good. Armin Williams, Bruce Gilbert, Ryan McGuire. Addie Bates produces. I forgot one, didn't I? Colin Jones. Can't forget that guy. He's all of our bosses.
What about Curtis?
Curtis Poindexter. Sinatra. The other damn cat.
Yeah.
Remember its name.
Jasmine.
You better. It's coming up with Nick Costos. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow. Drake Toll Show. This has been It Always Will Be. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. The Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One's